Hello children, welcome to biology class. So last class we discussed generation and conduction of nerve impulses. I hope you studied that topic. Today let's discuss transmission of impulses. Children, we know that a nerve impulse is transmitted from one neuron to another through a junction called synapses, isn't it? So here you can see the synapses. A synapse is formed by the membranes of a presynaptic neuron and a postsynaptic neuron. So this is a presynaptic neuron and this is postsynaptic neuron, which may or may not be separated by a gap called synaptic cleft. This gap is called synaptic cleft. There are two types of synapses, namely electrical synapses and chemical synapses. At electrical synapses, the membrane of pre- and postsynaptic neurons are in very close proximity. Electrical current can flow directly from one neuron into the other across these synapses. So, transmission of an impulse across electrical synapses is very similar to impulse conduction along a single action. Impulse transmission across an electrical synapse is always faster than across chemical synapse. Electrical synapses are rare in our system. Now we are discussing the chemical synapse and it. The membranes of presynaptic and postsynaptic neurons are separated by a fluid filled space, synaptic cleft, that we already discussed. So chemicals called neurotransmitters. So these are the neurotransmitters, okay. So the neurotransmitters are involved in the transmission of impulses at these synapses. So the axon terminals contain vesicles filled with these neurotransmitters. Observe this, children. When an impulse or action potential arrives at the axon terminal, it stimulates the movement of the synaptic vesicles towards the membrane where they fuse with the plasma membrane and release their neurotransmitters in the synaptic cleft. The released neurotransmitters bind to their synaptic receptors present on the postsynaptic membrane. This binding opens ion channels, allowing the entry of ions which can generate a new potential in the postsynaptic neuron. So what happened? The new potential developed may be either excitatory or inhibitory, and it results the conduction or it results the transmission of impulses. Okay, so that is about transmission of impulses. So while the question is asked, you have to write both electrical current flow and chemical synapses. Hope you understood the topic. So that's about the lesson. So in this lesson, we discussed about the human neural system. We discussed about central neural system, peripheral neural system and visceral nervous system. Then we studied a detailed study on the human neuron. I will show you the diagrams now. So you study to draw the structure of a typical neuron and label the parts. Okay, cell body, dendrites, axon, then terminal branches, synaptic cleft and synapses. Then three types of neurons, which are the unipolar neuron, bipolar neuron and multipolar neuron. Then generation and conduction of nerve impulses. It is an important question. Okay, you can expect these questions, children. Action potential propagation. Okay, at the resting potential and rising phase, you have to draw the diagram. You have to explain it. Okay. Then what happens to sodium potassium pump? Then transmission of impulses, both electrical impulses and chemical impulses. You have to explain what happens during an action potential. Okay. So that's about the lesson. Neural control and coordination, and next class we will discuss a new lesson about endocrine glands. Okay. So today you study the lesson, you read the lesson thoroughly. Okay. Thank you, children.